everybody. Welcome to the Flipside. I'm Sam.
I'm JT.
And this is our top 5 games from the year 2019. If you're here from the Dice Tower, thank you for joining us. We did our bottom 5 games from our top 10 of 2019 over there. And we, of course, invited everybody that watches over there on over here, too, to see our top 5 games from 2019.
There's some awesome games over there, so if you haven't seen it, go back and look.
Super good. Super good games. But these are going to be the creme de la creme.
Indeed.
These are the best games, according to our opinions,
that have ever come out in the history of the world.
In the year 2019.
Oh, yeah, in the year 2019.
That's about the size of it. It's very microcosmic, but that's what we're basically doing here. I will say, though, that there were a lot of good games this year. I always check to see how deep the ranked games go in Board Game Geek's database, and this one reached all the way to page 16, and that's with 100 games on each page of ranked games in BGG's database. And the last one was 26,348.
These are ranked games. These aren't just the guy put a book on there. That's 16 pages of ranked games.
Exactly.
And on the other side of that, we had 86 games in the top 1,000. So almost 9% of the best games in the world
9%
come from this year. Almost 9%.
Wow.
Which puts us with 343 remaining to hit top to fill the top 1,000. So
I think we're going to do it.
I think 2024 is going to fail us yet because they haven't had time to simmer.
I think it's going to happen.
They got to have time.
I think it's going to happen.
All right.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and hit it. Our top 5 games from 2019 begins now. My number 5 is a game in which you're all trying to you're trying to help a magical book escape a magical library because he's been stuck there against his will, and he's trying to help him get free. This is called Obscurio.
Except for the traitor sucks.
There is a traitor. There is a traitor.
Traitor.
It's one of those games where it is a semi-cooperative game where there could be somebody that's trying to foil everybody else's plans. And that's what really makes it sporty. But the thing that I like about this, if you like Mysterium, or if you like games like Mysterium, I think this will be a game that you'll at least enjoy a little bit.
Yeah.
At the very least, I actually like it much better than Mysterium. I like the way that you're able to give clues. I like how you have these little butterfly I don't know exactly what they're supposed to be called. I think they're butterfly little pointers that you can kind of point people towards the clue that you really want them to focus on. And you would think that it makes it a lot easier.
Oh, yeah, he's pointing at that little tiny rope right there. It has to do something with a rope.
Right.
And then he's like, oh, no, I pointed at it because it's blue.
Because of the color.
And you're like, oh, thanks.
So it's one of those things. You would think it makes it too easy, but it's not. It doesn't. It just makes it, as the clue giver, it gives you more guidance for the rest of the group. And I really enjoyed that. The component quality of the group and the artwork of the game, rather, not the group. The artwork and the component quality of the game is really good as well. All the way down to the storage solution that's inside the box.
Yep.
Everything fits very well inside the box. The clue-giving book is really nice. Magnetic, because those little fireflies or butterfly symbols are magnetic.
I think that's what they call it, like a butterfly pointer or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But I can't remember either. But it's a really good game, really fun. I really enjoy it a lot. That is Obscurio, my number 5.
That's a really cool game. And every round when they're doing the clues, there's some kind of possible negative effect that can happen. So there's like red filter that goes over the top of it so you can't see any colors or like the wind. Those are really cool. Obscurio is a really fun game.
Very cool.
Yep. My number 5 is a card game that I love. I don't know if it's on your list or not. I was surprised that it's not. I figured it would be in your back half, actually. I figured you'd at least put it on here, but you failed me. But it's a little trick-taking game that's cooperative called The Crew, The Quest for Planet 9. I didn't figure it would be in your top 5. I wouldn't expect it there, but I thought it might eke in at the bottom of your 10s.
It's fun. It's fun. But I
good.
didn't write it down even to
Because he knew I was going
include
to.
it because, first of all, I knew it was going to be on your list. Second of all, I'm not that big of a trick-taking game kind of person. Trick-taking games for me are kind of like roll and writes for you.
Yeah.
There are certain few
fair.
that I really enjoy, and I could really care less about the rest.
That's fair. But the Crew is a trick-taking game. It's fairly simple. You have a hand of cards. In the Quest for Planet 9, you have some Black Rocket cards in there, 1 through 4. Otherwise, you just have the colored suits, which I think go 1 through 9. But every round, there's going to be a captain, and then there's going to be some kind of objective, whether or not you have to get a yellow 6 before somebody takes a green 4 in a trick, and I have to get a yellow 6 before that person gets a green 4, and this person needs to get a blue 3 and a 5, whatever else it might be, and you're trying to play out tricks so that the person collects, in the right order and on the right turn, which is something that the second one doesn't really have any of that ordering anymore.
Yeah.
But it has.
You like this one better than the second?
No, I like the second one better.
Oh, you do?
Overall, it has more variety.
You like the sea one better than the
Yes.
space one? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I
it
thought
has
it was
more.
the other way around.
Overall, it has more variety in
Gotcha.
the objectives. This one, the objectives are kind of the same because they're more in that you have to do this first and then more in that sequencing. But regardless, you're playing down tricks, trying to get everybody to get the right tricks that they need, right number of tricks or whatever else. But you can't talk during it. You can't say anything to each other during it. You can put down one card and give a clue on that card, but it just
Yep.
this one hits. I love this game.
I really enjoy the concept of a cooperative trick-taking game. I really enjoy that concept, and I do enjoy this game, but it didn't make my list just because it's, as trick-taking games go, I'm much more of a purist.
He likes to play hearts.
No. All right, my number 4. My number 4 is a Star Wars IP game. And
Surprise!
this one is called, why you say surprise?
Because you have one every year.
No, I don't.
2 things we know about you. There's a Star Wars game in every list, and there is a, I can't remember your favorite artist's name in every list. Would you
Yes,
like
you
to
can.
remind me?
No, you can't.
Oh, okay. I can't remember. It's okay.
Can't talk about them later anyway.
There's one of those in every list. All right, back to your Star Wars.
This one is called Outer Rim. Star Wars Outer Rim. And we've talked about Star Wars Rebellion. Rebellion is basically the first 3, episode 4, 5, and 6 in a box. The expansion threw in Rogue One, which fit completely because it's at the front end of episode 4 or leading into episode 4, so it fits as well. That is original trilogy in a box, absolutely cool. Star Wars Outer Rim is kind of like the Star Wars universe in a box.
Yep.
Because you are basically just a bounty hunter trying to make your way in the galaxy, and you can do it in a number of, not necessarily a bounty hunter, you can do a number of different things. You can do bounty hunting, you can be a smuggler, you can be a merchant trader, you can do whatever you want. There's a lot of different ways that you can interact with different aspects of the Star Wars universe in this game, but at the same time, you're also going to be brushing up against rebel forces that you're going to run into in some shipping lane, or Imperial forces that are that are blockading this certain planet and all this other kind of stuff. And on top of that, you're going to have like gold cards that have you have to go save the princess from being captured or whatever. And so you're going to run into Princess Leia, you're going to run into Boba Fett, you're going to run into this person and that person that's within the Star Wars universe, but it's outside of that script or outside of that context that the movies had. So it's really kind of like a Star Wars sandbox game set in that universe and in that context, but without all of the parameters. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. It does have an expansion called Unfinished Business. I have the box on my wall up there because I just put the expansion stuff in the box. But and so it pushes a lot of other things into the game. I haven't actually played Unfinished Business yet, but this is one of my favorite ways to play Star Wars. That's it. Star Wars Outer Rim, my number 4.
Can I be a captain called Mal and with my ship called the Serenity?
Actually,
Why not?
Star Wars Outer Rim is a lot like Firefly the game. It's a lot like it, but it's slightly better because it's not as long.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
There. That's an endorsement. That's good.
It is.
Here. My number 4 is a IP game. I guess it's an IP game. You would call it that. It's called Marvel Champions. It's a deck builder where you're going to be any of your favorite superheroes and go up against any of the bad guys you'd like to go up against. You can be Spider-Man and go up against Rhino. You can be whatever, whoever you can imagine. They're all over the place. They got X-Men sets out now. They got tons of characters. I really like this game for the fact that you have your own deck, which is your character deck. This is a deck that you can either just pull out of the box and use the one that they send you, or you can, you customize to your heart's content prior to playing the game. But it's just a really cool game. The characters feel very thematic in what they do. If you're Black Widow, you're doing spy type, things, and there's so many different bad guys. There's so many different campaigns. You go up against Thanos or whatever else. But it all feels very thematic. This is probably my favorite. This isn't a CCG, but
I think this is one of Roy. I think it's an LCG.
LCG,
because you can continue to buy more stuff for it.
This is probably my favorite, right alongside Aeon's End. Those 2 card games. I think I said the other day that Aeon's End, I probably have more cards than anything else, any other game that I have.
Yeah.
This one's second.
Ah, wow. I know Roy really likes this game.
It's amazing.
He loves it. Loves this game. As far as I can, if I'm remembering correctly, he's always,
I think you're right.
He's always posting stuff on Facebook. Hey, he picked up, I think a couple days ago, he just picked up Iceman.
Yep.
A new Iceman character.
I want Iceman.
Like so
I was gonna get X-23 not too long ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's neat.
There's lots of them out there.
Cool beans. To date, we have not had any crossovers. Is that correct?
That is correct.
We have not had one single crossover.
None.
So you have 3 spots left for your one crossover.
I don't think you're going to... Well, you might cross over on one of these.
And I said I was going to have 3. Your prediction comes true with my number 3. Reavers of Midgard.
That was the one I thought we'd have.
That was the one?
Yep.
You're wrong.
Nope, that was the one I thought we'd have.
Oh, I know you like these other 2 games.
Okay, that's great.
This was his number, what, 10?
10.
Yeah. It was his number 10 on the bottom 5, and everything that he said about it was absolutely true. I love the multi-use cards. I love how there's a little bit of Champions of Midgard in there where you can go and sail off and send your crew to do something that's on a distant shore somewhere. I love the differences of how you can make your leader a little bit different than everybody else with the kinds of actions that you choose and all that kind of stuff. I love the dice, which also to me has a little bit of that Champions of Midgard feel to it.
Sure.
At least with the expansions and all that other kind of stuff from Champions, but. Really enjoy this game. We really need to get this back to the table.
Yep.
And I mean, I'm serious. We need to do that.
I think when you came over last week, this was one of the ones that I had on my list. I actually wrote a list of different games that I wanted to play. This was on that list.
Yeah.
We went a lot light. We went lighter. Not that this is a super heavy game, but we went super light just because we were chilling.
Yep.
Which is totally fine. That's kind of where we ended up.
Yep.
But this one, we need to get played.
Such a good game.
My number 3, I don't believe you played, and if you did play it, I don't think you played it all the way through. I'm not sure you got the opportunity to play it all the way through with your busy game-playing schedule. But my number 3 is a legacy game of a game that I already love. It has several versions out, and there's a second legacy game to this coming out soon. Any guesses? No. Clank Legacy Acquisitions Incorporated.
Yeah.
2019.
Acquisitions Incorporated. This is a great, fun game.
Did you play it a bunch? Did you play through it?
I finished it.
Oh, nice.
We did it on...
that.
This is where I vowed not serious, but I vowed a vow to never play Clank with Roy Cannaday ever
that's
again.
right, you said that.
Because he wins incessantly.
It's because he's playing for the other team.
I know. But he's so good at this game. But yeah, that's exactly what I...
Well, and if you can be so good at the Legacy version or the...
He super
awesome.
was.
I don't want to play against him now.
He super was. But yeah, no, this is a great pick.
Yeah, this is a great pick. Big old board. You're adding stickers that just add multiple rooms and different things going on. The Legacy... this is one of those Legacy versions, though, where you can get stuck in... read this thing... Put 7 stickers on, make 1 play, put 7 more stickers on. That can happen. Yep. But this is a really cool game. 2 sides of the board. That's not a spoiler, I don't think. It might be a little bit of a spoiler. I don't know. But regardless, it's a 2019 game.
It's been out for 5 years.
I still have my board for this. I don't have the game anymore because I got rid of the box to save space. I want to mount the board on my wall, and I haven't done it. But
that's a cool idea.
But yeah, I love Clank Legacy. I'm super excited for the second one to come out.
Yeah, we'll have to play that.
I took all of my pieces from Clank Legacy, like my cards and stuff that were good, that weren't like Legacy board versions and stuff, and my dragon and my characters and stuff like that.
Make a shadow box. You should make a shadow box.
No, I incorporated it all into Catacombs.
Oh, okay.
So the stuff that works anyways.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. All right, my number 2, I think is going to be another crossover.
Oh.
And if it isn't, again...
well, then it is. All right, I'll say it is.
So here it is.
Right.
Here's my number 2. My number 2 is a game that he taught me. Actually, no. I've played the game with you, but Jim is the one that actually taught me how to play. And it was both on the cruise. Cthulhu, Death May Die.
This game came out in 2019?
He knows.
You lie.
He knows.
No, you lie. Whatever. Keep going.
It came out in 2019.
Okay.
It's not on your list?
Man, do your pick.
It's on your list. This is number 1. You watch. Cthulhu, Death May Die is a great little game. And
big game.
What's that?
Big game, not a little game.
That's true. There's a lot to this game. That is absolutely true. But it's very fun. I love the scenario-driven aspect of it. You can also... Can you play a campaign? I think you can play a campaign version of it, right?
No, I don't think you can.
Okay. Well,
I mean, you can play through the
there's
scenarios
so many
in sequence, but
yes.
I don't think you can play
that's what
a
I'm
campaign.
thinking. That's what I'm thinking. But I really enjoy games like this that are scenario-based, where you can pick up a easy scenario and play it. You can pick up something that might be a little bit more difficult. I was able to play this, and this is one of the coolest stories for me personally. Nobody else probably cares, but I was able to play this in a prototype version at the Gathering of Friends with Rob murdered his name. Rob Davia. Now I'm just going to mess it up. Rob and Eric taking notes as they were watching us play and guiding us through one of the first scenarios. That was just a really cool experience for me. But after it came out, I wasn't able. I just wasn't able to play it. And on the cruise, and when we played it with you on the cruise, was the first 2 times I played the game. Really enjoyed myself. Super fun game, and it rocketed to the top as far as this year is concerned. So that's my number 2, Cthulhu, Death May Die.
That's a good pick. Very, very good pick.
Yep.
Somewhere on this, not this channel, somewhere on the Dice Tower channel, you can see Z and Camilla and I think Mike play with the giant Cthulhu statue mission.
Really?
Yeah, they did a playthrough with that one.
That's pretty funny.
All right, my number 2 game of 2019. I don't know that we've played this together, and honestly, sometimes I don't know why I love this game as much as I do. This is a great game, and it just always at the top of my list for some reason. It's a game called Circadian's First Light by S.J. McDonald and Garfield Games. Now, on BGG, it doesn't say. I think this might just have been a Sam game. or SJ. Is it his first name is Sam, right? I think it's Sam.
I don't know. I've always seen it as S.J.
yeah.
McDonald.
But I think this was his design. I'm not sure how much, if any, Shem had in this game. But in this game, you are a captain, and you have your own little base. But you're going to this planet. You're interacting with 3 different alien races. You're trying to mine this planet or harvest resources off of this planet. You're trying to do complete quests and goal cards. But it's got a really cool thing because you have dice. They're kind of your workers. And at the beginning of your round, I think you start with 3 dice the first round. And then out in the board, you can get more dice. But there's also a couple of spots, the spaceport, and then when you go to the alien locations and you interact with them, once you play that dice out there, that dice stays there forever. So you have to continue to collect more dice of your color so that you can keep going. So you're really balancing getting the resources and spending your dice permanently. And you also have your home board. Instead of sending them out on spaceships to the planet, you can farm. You create these little farms that will give you water and different resources.
Yeah.
But this is such a nice dice placement game. Really thinky, timing based, playing on the right time and hoping somebody else doesn't take your spot, things like that. Yep. It's just a really cool game. Really cool. I love the mechanisms of this game.
The artwork turned me off.
Yep, I know. And the artwork, I think, is the reason why this thing isn't much higher.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
They should have got the Miko to do it.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
Yeah. And I think this might have been, 2019, right? That was after he was doing Architects and other ones, I guess. So in the Raider series, so they could have.
He was too busy.
If you like dice placement and that kind of worker placement games like that, you gotta play this game because it is really sound. It's really fun.
And I have lost hope that this is going to be a crossover. Because I'm pretty sure I know what his number 1 is. And well, I hope I know. But my number 1 is the 2nd edition of a game, and I don't think I included the 1st edition of the game when it came out on my list because the 2nd edition, is better. That much better. I don't think very much changed, except for the artwork, baby. Vincent Dutrait artwork.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Vincent Dutrait artwork, but Atlantis Rising is
That's your number 1.
Very fun game. Yes, it's my number 1 game, and I will say this: depending on the day, Cthulhu Death May Die or Atlantis Rising could be my number 1. Today it was Atlantis Rising. Another day it could be Cthulhu Death May Die because I like the mechanisms employed in both of them. I love. There's dice rolling in both of them. There are little special powers, player powers, in both of them. I like the cooperative nature of both of the games. Yep. There's so much that there's so many similarities, I guess you could say, mechanically speaking, between the 2 games. But it's the artwork and the colorful nature of Atlantis Rising that really pulled it to the front. For me and this particular list. I have Monstrosities sitting over there staring at me, and I need to get that played.
We need to play that.
Picked that up at Origins last year, so I've had it for a year now. I just haven't played it.
Yeah, we need to play that. I like this game. I like it quite a bit, and it is a beautiful, absolutely, that 2nd edition.
Yes.
Absolutely
Elf Creek
gorgeous.
knocked it out of the park.
Like, really gorgeous. I do feel that the base game is very procedural is not the right word. When I look at the board,
you know what you need to do.
I know what I need to do every turn. Yep. There's not like a whole bunch of options. It's right now I need to do this. Right now I need to do this.
But there's still a risk factor in all of that.
There's always a risk factor in it. But some games you're risking something and it just feels more important than risking in this game sometimes.
Yeah, I get it.
It's a really cool game and it is a fun puzzle and it's fun to play. I'm wondering if Monstrosities
will change that.
Gives you more decision space.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool game and gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Totally agree.
With whatever artist that was that you were talking about earlier.
Vincent Dutrait.
Fair.
My number 1, Atlantis Rising, 2nd edition.
My number 1 has already been talked about. Cthulhu Death May Die.
That's right.
This is my favorite dungeon crawl game. You get these characters, and the characters level up just like in a lot of different ones, but you're leveling up here based on your level of madness. As your character goes crazier and crazier and crazier, you're leveling up, you're getting stronger.
The others used a very similar mechanism, and I didn't like it because, and I know it's weird, but they called it corruption. So you were corrupting yourself.
Yeah,
In the others, and this one, you're just going mad because of the effect.
The effect of Cthulhu.
Yeah. And so in this one, I'm like, that's really cool. I didn't like the idea of you are corrupting yourself willfully. This one, it's different.
And the
where you can get more powerful.
Agreed.
To an extent, but then...
If you hit the top of that madness trap, you just
done.
die. You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
And if anybody dies before the old one comes out on the board, you lose. So you're trying to make sure that doesn't happen. But it's kind of funny when you got 2 or 3 people that are getting pretty crazy and pretty powerful, and you got one person that's somehow staying sane, but they feel I'm weak. I need to get a little bit more crazy.
I want to go crazy too,
Papa.
I want
to go nuts too, please. But the scenarios are really good. Like, not only on top of the scenarios are really good. Like, you have, when you step into that thing and it says, you need to go find these 3 things as fast as you can because the old one's coming. You have a purpose.
Yes.
From turn 1, you have a purpose. You got to deal with
doing.
cultists. You got to deal with these crazy critters. And the other cool thing is the modularity, because you take one old one, whoever that may be, Cthulhu or Hastur or whatever else, and you take one scenario and you mix their decks together, and it creates that scenario. And they all play very, very different. So
it's very cool.
Yeah, it's very, very cool.
Very cool design. Very fun game.
2019 was a pretty good year.
Wasn't it?
Yep.
It was super good. That is it. Our top 5 games from 2019. If you're watching right now, click that like, subscribe button. If you have not yet done so already, hit that bell icon so that you can know when we've got another one of these things coming up. And we'll thank you for it. We appreciate you. We're going to get on out of here, so we'll see you guys and gals on the flip side.